Needless to say, we disappointed from last night's outcome. Thought we had a great opportunity to get in on the winning side of conference play, and the setback last night obviously didn't sit well, and it's just something we've got to continue pushing through. The only encouraging part, I thought we played a lot of minutes last night without Johnny and Hickey, and you guys did a good job and really staying the course in battling and fighting throughout the game to give us a chance to get those guys back and stay in striking distance, and actually had a lead there late with them getting back in. But we weren't able to finish. Got a 4-point lead, about 2 minutes to go, and Missouri, wow. Well, unfortunately, they were able to make the plays last night in South Carolina, the tough plays down the stretch, and get themselves back in the battle and knocking down shots, and we just weren't able to recover. And they did an excellent job there in the overtime to finish off the game. And I just think if we continue to play hard and keep battling, that some great things will happen for us, and the game will start falling in our favor. We just have to stay the course until then.
Coach, I know there's 15 games still left to be played, but how do you keep this team, I guess, emotionally, up emotionally and not depressed?
Yeah, it's tough anytime you have setbacks, but I think the great part is that we have to understand we just have to take one game at a time. We've done it all season. We're sitting there, I think, at 9-2 at one point, and up in that approach, we've been taking one game at a time, and that's been our approach, and it can't change. We have to learn from our setbacks, and this season is going to be a journey. We understand that, and after each one of these games, we have to look back and evaluate it, the positives, the negatives, and move on and see where we can improve. And we'll have to do the same from last night in preparation for Georgia on Saturday.
It's tough to steer the course back another direction if you get 0-4, 0-4, 0-5. Just how tough is it to pilot this thing back? If the result doesn't go your way on Saturday, just work.
Well, I hope I don't experience that, but if it happens, I think the main thing is you have to stay the course. You have to improve from your next game in your approach, and I think we'll have to do that from last night's game to in preparation for Saturday's game and getting ready, and regardless of what happens Saturday, that will be our approach for next week's game. We've got to take whatever experience we get and learn from, hopefully, the positives, and get better and get ready for next week's contest. And that's got to be our approach all year. And I told the guys at the beginning of the year, you don't go into the year with predictions outside of how hard you're going to play and the difference that you would like to make. And we will celebrate and look back on it when we're at our banquet. But you can't do that during the season, and that's got to be your approach, because the games come too quick. You can't get too up, and you can't get too down. I mean, if you win, you can't put yourself in a situation that, oh, we're great, and if you have a setback, you really can't put yourself in a situation where, we're not very good, right now, and you just have to continue to play it out.
You're going to say stuff like that to them, they're going to listen to you, but is there a guy that a player that will be your voice piece when you're not around?
Not sure, and I think that's the part of the process throughout the year, and I think this is the time that those things have to start to emerge, and you're hopeful that someone will be able to rise up, but that's not someone that you can pinpoint, identify, or vote in to do that. That's just someone that have to really rise to the occasion or step up, and you're hopeful that will happen, but you can't just assign somebody for that duty.
Coach, in talking to Johnny, he said that playing Georgia last year, they run the exact same offense that Coach Johnson ran here last year. Obviously, Mark Fox and Trent, they're on the same coaching tree. how much is that going to help in the scouting and the game plan going into Saturday, knowing that, they were running this offense not a year ago without you, but how is that going to help defending them?
I think it'll help some of our guys that were here last year that are familiar with it, because anytime you're talking about scouting, it's just going over plays and what you're looking for in guys and know the strong points and what they're looking for. So I think that'll be beneficial for the guys that were here. But I think they have some new people on that team that's running some of those plays that makes a lot of times make it effective in what you're running. So it'll help, and I'm hopeful it'll cut down some of our time and put in their stuff, and they'll give us an opportunity to really work on us for a little bit, because that's what we really need.
What sort of challenge do you face in Caldwell Pope for them? It seems like he's there. Really, let's we can look at just sort of the numbers. They're only offensive threat right now. Just sort of when you get a good look at him, just what sort of test does he pose to you?
Well, I think Williams is really good. He's had a really big game against Missouri, and he was explosive. And Pope's really good, very crafty, and he's All-American coming out of high school, and he's really hadn't disappointed. He's played extremely well, and he's someone that we'll have to contend with and make sure that we're trying, make sure that we can try and contain him, and hopefully we can do a great job on him, because he's one of the guys, the main guy they really look to get him going.
You mentioned playing without Hickey and Johnny. One guy who seemed to kind of embrace that, I guess he played for Siobhan, was Malik. Seemed to find it a little bit last night. What did you like from him, and what do you think he can do to build off of that?
I think Malik has really stepped up. I was being a freshman, I think he's really given us some positive minutes over the last few games. I think he's trying to really separate himself a little bit, and I think it's an indicator of the minutes that he played last night and the stat line, that he's really been effective for us. He's one of those guys, sometimes he doesn't get the rebound, but he's really active, and he has kept the ball alive sometime to allow us another opportunity. And he's very confident in pulling up and getting a shot, and is not hesitant, and that's something that we need. But I've been very pleased with him, and we've just got to continue working defensively, and we hope that he can continue to grow.